Hey guys, it's Aditya again with Inspira Advantage. Thanks for joining us on our How to Get into Medical School web series. Today we're going to be talking about the personal statement. The personal statement may be one of the most important parts of the entire AMCAS application. It's one that can be easy to write but difficult to master. This is where you tell medical school admissions committees why you want to become a doctor. And for many people, it can be quite easy to fall into the trap to be generic. Just saying things like, I want to be a doctor because I want to help people. I want to be a doctor because I'm interested in science. I find the science of medicine interesting. Though these may be genuine interests and passions that brought you into medicine, from the perspective of a medical school admissions committee, when you're looking through thousands of applications and most of them say almost the exact same thing, they're going to pick the personal statements that stand out to them. And the way to stand out with a personal statement is to have a compelling story. Keep in mind that the AMCAS application only allows 5,300 characters for the personal statement. So what does it take to have a compelling story in your personal statement? Well, one way you can do this is to work backwards. First of all, look through all the activities that you have in your resume. Don't regurgitate your resume, but try and thread the needle throughout these activities to see if you can find a cohesive story for the activities that you chose. Now, I know there might be a lot on your resume that you want to throw onto your personal statement, but don't fall into the trap of just regurgitating your resume onto your personal statement. Your personal statement is where you expound on your 2 to 3 most important qualities or 2 to 3 most important activities, and you truly reflect on what exactly was it for those activities that made you want to become a doctor. Don't tell me that you're compassionate or that you have a lot of empathy. Show me. Pick a story from one of your activities and describe it in such a way that I get the feeling that you are very empathetic. One of the tips I always like to give my clients is always try to show, not tell. Don't tell me that you want to become a doctor. Show me that you want to become a doctor. If you're trying to describe an activity in your personal statement, try to spend more time on the reflections that you had because of the activity instead of actually telling me what you did during the activity. A classic example could be a medical scribe. A lot of people know what a medical scribe is, so don't use most of your words in your personal statement to describe what you did in that role. Instead, tell me, how did that role impact you? And what are some of the qualities that you're looking forward to or need to develop in order to become as good of a physician as you can? Now, the actual process of writing the personal statement may not actually be the hardest part of the personal statement itself. The hardest part might be coming up with the right idea or the right story that will make your application seem as compelling as possible. When I went through the medical school application process, I had about 12 to 15 drafts of my personal statement before I felt it was ready. And going through these drafts involved having other people read it, taking some time away from the personal statement so that I can look back at it again with fresh eyes, and just reviewing it over and over again, each time changing little things here and there. Sometimes it's looking at the ideas, sometimes it's looking at the grammar and sentence structure. There are many ways that you can always refine your personal statement, but you'll need to give yourself time in order to do that. I'd advise you to divide your creative process into 3 phases. In your first phase, it's brainstorming the perfect idea for your personal statement. Don't write the personal statement in full paragraph form. Instead, focus on just outlining your ideas and trying to figure out what are the best experiences and stories that you can pick to make yourself as compelling as possible. Phase 2 is when you're actually writing the full draft. The way I tell my clients to write their stories in their personal statements is as if you're watching a movie. In the movies that you watch, they're not telling you everything that's happening. They're giving you little scenes here and there, and from there, they tend to develop their story into a greater plot. In the same way, you don't have to talk about your story necessarily in a chronological order. If there is a certain scene or an event within your experience that was quite compelling, that could be your hook into your personal statement. And from there, you can expound upon what the activity was, what you learned from it, and why did it ultimately contribute to your journey to become a physician. So after you finish your first draft of the personal statement, I advise that you take 24 hours to not look at it. Take a full day's break and come back to it with fresh eyes. Phase 3 is the revision process. Sometimes this may be the longest phase out of the 3 because this is where you take time to read and review everything that you've said. You have other people look at it as well to see if what you've written is compelling to them as well. And it's a lot of pressure. But I hope that some of these tips do help you in the end. Remember to try to be unique, show, not tell why you want to become a physician, and pick those key moments within your experiences in which you can show the qualities that you're trying to show. Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this How to Get into Medical School web series. We'll have more videos coming in the near future. If you like them, subscribe below. See you guys next time.